want my horses to have a voice and to have a choice and to be doing it because they are part of it. What I found is the more they are allowed to have an opinion and the more they are by your side, because they know that they have the space to be who they are. I always said that my goal was to bring my horses to the very best version of themselves. With Tristan, I have way more powerful tools now to help them. Everything he says makes sense to me, everything he does makes sense to me. I learned all this work of what I call proprioception, so all the work with the small exercise and the back and across and the clock and the point release and how we work, how we help them to understand their emotions. But I did it through my gymnastic exercises, through the technique I knew to help them in their body. But I was helping them. And with Tristan, I discovered how to help them to help themselves in the end. And that's the difference. So what I discovered in my journey is that most of the emotional problems comes or linked to balance problem. As soon as they are out of balance, they get stressed because they go into a weak position, and there you have the emotions coming. So I had these answered about how to help them back in the shoulders and in the wither, to help them finding back the balance, and through this taking back the control of their emotions and feeling better. But with Tristan, it all makes sense and it's all linked. So it's not you use it, you just do it before work, or you just this day you decide. No, you integrate it in your daily routine, and so it becomes part of it, and it just goes completely normally into it. That's where Tristan is, in my opinion, different than all the other people I ever met, and that's why I said that's for me the most important meeting I had in my horse journey.
Welcome everybody, welcome to the live event. Welcome Tristan. It has been 5 months since our previous event. That was about how horses thrive, what makes a horse thrive. And tonight it's about forming partnerships. And not only about forming partnerships with your horse, also with other equestrians and other trainers, because this time Tristan was not alone.
To be another first.
Yeah. And I think it's quite special because in the equestrian world, it seems to me that very often there's not a lot of sharing of knowledge between trainers. It seems to me like very often trainers are sort of on an island and maybe pretending that they already know everything, that they don't need help, not seek help. But it's different with you. You're very open about your journey, and also with our guest. So maybe we should bring her in. Everybody, of course, already knows who our guest is. We're very happy to have her here. So Alizée, come on in. Hello.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you.
They're clapping loud.
Cheering. Well, we have people watching from all over the world, so I think everybody's very excited that you're here as well. And of course, you probably don't need any introduction, but in case you don't know Alizée, you've been competing at international level, dressage, but of course we all know you from your magical performances, working horses in Liberty. You really do an amazing job, and you inspire a lot of people. Also with your own accounts, you have so many followers who are inspired by your amazing videos. So you two have been working together, and I was wondering, how did that come about? How did that partnership start?
Well, actually, we've been doing many shows together without never crossing, which was quite something.
Think, oh yeah, that's that Alizée with the amazing wings and wonderful horses.
Absolutely. And but then we met in Portugal last year for the economic forum. So yeah, quite a coincidence, I would say. And then we ended at the same table, started to talk together, and thought that we would really need to stay in touch and to work together. And I had a complicated horse, Dundee, and then I sent him a message, asked him if he would be willing to help me out with him, and then that's how it started, and it never ended.
Yeah, and the interesting bit is, Connie, it's of course you, like we said, you see other people in the industry, and of course someone like Alizée that is really gone to the depths of her craft, that it becomes artistry now. It's funny for me to stand here and say this about you while you're standing right here, but it's of course that thing of, you know, not just doing horses or being in horses or have competed or practiced something or trained with something, but really to go deep into your art and your craft, that it becomes an art. It becomes something that is very deep in your own feelings and your emotion and your memory and your life. And that's, I think, the thing that where we connected the most in Portugal. It's why we have come together and being able to, every time we get together and we work the horses, we start a conversation. Just like today, Alizée turned up, I was riding, and then she came along, said hello, and then we started to talk about horses. Then we got into this deep conversation, and then we thought, oh, we better take this horse in. And
yeah, but your horse was working the prize-giving ceremony really well.
Yes, she stood.
A good practice.
Yes, that's right. I told her before, Alizée is coming, make sure you get your best behavior. But it's something about that, and I must say that everything to do in my horse life is being about working with people and sharing information. It's what we have in the online training with sharing as many people as possible. It's what Alizée is doing with the shows and performance, to share and experience not only knowledge, how to do something, but really a feeling, an experience, what it is to view something beautiful that you can connect with, that you can understand, that can give you more information about yourself and to help you to experience life for yourself in a better way. And that we have together. It's from kind of two different places, but they somehow meet and they intertwine in that way. And probably you'll get to hear it more as we work our two horses together.
Yes, very excited about that. And I think the people at home as well. So what is the plan for tonight? What are we going to, what will we be looking at?
So Alizée has brought a special horse for me.
Yes.
To work with?
Yes, absolutely. And that's his first exit from home. So, and I
also
saw
the first time you see this horse?
I saw him one time. I went to Alizé's and I saw him one time there at home with her other horses. But yeah, this will be the first real time I have a focused training and, like you say, first time away from home. So we will be...
And he made a huge change in his journey. So that's quite a different horse today than the one he met some months ago.
And he took one session, you see.
Yeah. That's the TRT match.
Yeah, Alizée had nothing to do with that.
You know, I mean, in holidays, he came a few months ago, and then I went in holidays, and I came back, and he was
like this.
So
in a good way, or because I still don't know, it has a change in a good way.
No, he's really in this moment, in a changing time, so that was the perfect fit to bring him here and see how he can handle his emotions, because he's the hypersensitive type. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, Alizée will get to meet my new unicorn. Some people may know, Dario. And yeah, Alizée will have the conversation with him for the very first time. They've never had an interaction. They've never had a conversation. And we've been saying more and more that it's interesting when we work each other's horses that we feel. I was in the beginning working with some of Alizé's horses and feeling, oh, this is her language. Oh, that was her. Some of our noises that we make had a different meaning. And so when you feel each other's horses, you have a better understanding of the relationship and the connection. And this is the part I like a lot about working with Alizée, and especially her horses, is she has a very good understanding of the personality, how they handle their emotion, how they feeling about their work, how they feel about their own body, about their situation, about their job, about the work that they're going into. And it's nice to then have a horse like Daria that's extremely special to me, that is a horse for me that is incredibly sensitive. And the liberty work is not something I've ever delved into deeply. So this is...
So you'll be doing liberty work with Dario?
Well, liberty, I cannot say, because that's what I told Tristan. I'm really annoying with the basics for the liberty work, because it's like if you have a children and you want him to learn how to read, but then you put him in front of a table, you put a book and you say, hey, find a way.
Yeah.
So I have all the basics. Maybe the connection will be really here and then he will be able, but in a first shot, I would say, no, we will stay into the basics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you will see the first date.
Yeah.
And the most difficult thing for Alizée will be she's dealing with a young Spanish guy with an Australian accent now. So
This is gonna be
this
quite
is a difficult
complicated. And then we will need to speak in English with a French accent. So that's quite a challenge.
We will see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yes. Well, I would say let's get started.
Let's get started.
Yeah. Alrighty, here's the majestic, amazing brown unicorn.
Yeah. So he's called Novato, but I called him Amadeus because for me that's really who he is. That's this type of really genius, out of this world, very special, very different, but with all the struggles that come with that type of personality.
Yeah.
So this hypersensitive type, in the same time with a big ego, so struggling with high emotions, and in the same time some dominant behaviors. So always trying to find the right balance.
Yeah.
And in a mental way, he is struggling a lot with failures. It's a horse that cannot cope very well with failing at something or misunderstanding. When he feels that he doesn't get directly what you're asking, then that brings him into a panic mode, which now is way better. So from panic mode, we came to a little bit of stress, but that he starts to recognize and to learn to handle and how to cope with.
Yeah.
But we're still having to work really toward this. He needs to allow himself to fail, to make some mistakes, and to learn that this is part of the journey, part of of growing. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And from a physical status, you see that's a huge horse with spider legs. So sometimes connecting the entire body is still a little bit complicated. So he can still struggle a little bit to really use the lumbar area and with all his croup properly to get his hind legs quick enough. So he can go into these spider legs, but we always need to help him to go really through and find his way through the body.
Yep. Yep. And how old did you say he was?
He's 8.
8.
Yes.
Okay. Good. You feel also just when you talk, it's like if we're standing and we're talking about our children, then they start, he has a really young energy about him.
Yeah. He's still, for me, he's more 6 than 8 years old still. And sometimes he even goes really into the baby modus, but that's the way he copes with his his emotions still. He's young in this way, and that's the same in the work.
Yeah.
He has this genius way of handling everything. you would play and everything comes out and you think that's not possible, we never tried it, so how this can be so easy. But in the same time, it's still a baby doing it because his body can make it, but not exactly knowing how to do it.
Which is a trap, of course, because we think, oh, he's talented, and we let him do his thing, and it feels so easy for him.
Yeah.
And without the processing and the understanding, it becomes...
But we are, we are really careful with this, not to push him. So just like doing the basics, staying on one thing, so he learns that this is easy for him to process. He doesn't need to put some stress or pressure, and then we go back to basics, to the roots, never pushing him. That's very important. This one is the lowest training level at home. We are always extremely careful. He has a special handling because we know that he needs his time. That's really the baby of everyone.
He's saying now, he's saying,
patience, yes, exactly.
He's saying now, that's enough of the story. Let's get on with it.
Okay,
I can
he's all
take
yours.
him and feel a little bit. The nice thing is from the beginning, I feel on him this bit, like the mummy security and what you are giving him, the security. Also, when we stand there and we talk quiet, you see the behavior change now that I have the rope. And before, when he stands with mummy, he's going to have a roll probably. Normally I would allow them to do that. He looks so clean and shiny.
At home we are only girls, and he's still struggling, like the blacksmith is a man. Men are still a little bit stressful for him. That's that makes him more uncomfortable.
So in the beginning, I just redirect a little if he wants to show off a little. I just give him a small awareness of the space by redirecting, but not really controlling him. And I give him some awareness. Sometimes the movement around is, of course, the new energy on the rope. He's feeling, for my feeling, the expectation. Okay, why is she handing me now to him? What is he going to ask? What is he expecting? So it's really...
Which is the problem about failing and doing some mistakes. He's always about the expectations, and he needs to be focusing more on himself than on the other's expectations sometimes. So I think he's been doing a lot before without being able to understand the situation and without being able to fail. And so he is really into this pattern of always being careful about what the people are expecting from him.
And so then it's really important for me not to ask anything in the beginning, but just to redirect, to give him the sense that I'm not going to try to do something to him or with him, but give him straight away a sense of comfort by giving him some awareness of where he is within the space. And then I have to be also really grounded in that moment to give him the sense of, I'm not busy requesting or having any expectation on you. I just want you in the beginning to have an awareness of where you are in relation to me, and that he gets the sense that he can let himself in this first moment, in a new place, in a new space, first time away from home. He's very connected to you and very comfortable in the conversations, of course, that you have with him on a daily basis. So even for him to come to a new place is one thing, but then also to be given to me and to then be wondering, okay, what is the conversation going to be here? And just like you say, I feel that also directly, that he's thinking, I want to have the right answers. What could the right answers be? And he has not yet had a question. So just this process alone, in him coming to a new place, if a horse were to come in training, I would then go through the process of maybe bringing him in here and then letting him get to a state where he could find the rest, that he wasn't coming in and having all the expectations and getting too busy right away. Let him find the rest. Then we start to improve the awareness here. And really do it in a way that you give him time to process this space. Really make it about the space. And that he also can redirect his own body and his own energy into a state of rest. I try to feel my way through the arena when I walk, when I'm speeding up, when I'm slowing down. And then here, small redirection again. I already start to be able to feel how the movement is in the front leg. And before I can start to go into him feeling his body more, by making contact and starting to go through some tension release, he first has to be able to have the self-management to know where to put himself. Otherwise, if I step in and I start to feel the body, I'm going to be in a position where I have to control him.
Yeah, and he will go into his usual pattern.
Yeah. So I don't feel then straight away much of the energy coming down. So then I allow him to move a little bit. So I start the conversation first with the movement. And less with the awareness. But I also will have a little bit still giving this conversation. So allowing me to feel his body, but still be in a position where he can measure where he is within the space. If I start to really step up and I'm moving in here and I'm feeling the body, you see already that the body is going to be wanting to move somewhere else.
Yeah, proprioception and his awareness of the space can be quite struggling for him.
Yeah.
And we've even got the information that probably his vision is not perfect. Can be a little bit blurred, which can sometimes makes him struggle with the different lights or where he's in the space, according to if it's sunny, if it's cloudy. So that's something we're trying to figure out at the moment, because with the horse it's quite complicated. You cannot put some glasses or stuff like this. So that's why we've been working a lot into all this proprioception work.
And in the beginning, when they find it a bit difficult to have this awareness of the space, through walking directly straight ahead, they want to walk a little bit around you, past you, then I don't go too then heavily into demanding that. I just find another way in which this is the start of our conversation, so I want to start the conversation in a way where he feels he can get the right answers. And if he's finding that first bit a little bit difficult, then I move into something else where I can say, yes, this was good. Oh, yes, this was good. So this awareness of the space. Yes. Directly walking forwards is sometimes difficult, especially in a new space with a lot of energy. Now he has a bit more time to feel where he's in the space. And then being able to redirect the body that he's moving, front legs just a little bit behind and across. You see the front leg wants to, of course, step forward all the time. This was good. Boy, Yes. Hey. And doing it in a way where the steps start to slow down. He starts to feel the ground a little bit more. He gets a little bit more grounded. And then the normal places where I would start to go into the tension release from my finger, again, because I want him to be aware of the spatial awareness, I then will have the same connection as I would do close to him. So we're starting already tension release now. Some awareness of how his body feels.
But from further on.
From a distance, yeah. And then if that then starts to get him to think a little bit about the body when I do the normal patterns of tension release, of course, I'm not looking for the head drop to drop straight away. I'm not looking for a change in position, but just that he goes from that external distraction to the internal focus. He can start to have some self-awareness by looking inward. Yes. And then the same here. What's going on here? And a little bit here. Oh. And also a little bit here. Now we start to let him feel and have some awareness of his breathing pattern. Then I can start to feel a little bit the body here.
And which have been really an issue, because at the beginning, while you were riding, he would even stop breathing for a few steps and then starting again.
Yeah.
But all the breathing points helped him a lot. So now it's completely a reflex.
Yeah.
You can even feel that now on his own, when for one step he starts to breathe a little bit less directly.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he goes on a very big, deep breath.
Yeah.
So this helped him really a lot.
So then I just go through having a mix between a little awareness work, a little tension release work, and then the movement. And so that we can also test, okay, where are we having tension in the body? And then looking for those moments to go from the external distraction to the internal focus.
I'm very happy to see how much he's at peace with himself. Because I would say 2 months ago, even at home, we had to be extremely careful with handling other horses.
Yeah.
Because he would harm himself. He had no self-control, not even self-protection. So now, seeing that he's here at peace with the horses around, of course he's looking at them, but he's also a young stallion.
Yeah.
But
this is a line of mares here.
And there is no, he's just looking and curious, but there is no hard feelings or So
Yeah. And so this step is a really important one, that he's able to bring the energy back through himself, of course, in a new space where there's a lot of the distractions and everything, getting his curiosity up this way. We want him to be able to have the self-management and also the understanding that we're able to, before we can ask something out of them, we have to put it in them. That they have a sense and a feeling of what that's like in the body. Very good. So the body, of course, wants to be drawn up this way, especially in the presence of the mares. And so being able to teach him to bring himself into this relaxed state. And the nice thing is just the little bit of breath work we did of the awareness of his belly, and then connecting that to the redirection of the movement behind, across. Yes. That's getting straight away now the way he moves connected to the breathing. I also go back there again. And just feeling the contraction patterns. Hey, boy, yeah. Oh. Now we get the Buddha belly a bit. Helps that he's sniffing the shit on the ground. Oh. And then the redirection the other way. So slowly, before we start to ask for a forward step, I want to see that every time I go after a break or after some awareness work, yes, that we can get to this stage. Before we can go really deep into the body and to let him feel himself internally, and we start to be able to do things to create a better symmetry, and that the vibration through the body can release more tension, can connect more parts of his body. He has to have the stillness, because as soon as we start to go into that and he feels something, he will go into tension, and then... So this was better. Yes, behind. Yes. Yes, this feeling. Boy. Yes. 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 Yes, good. So this redirecting of the front leg. Then we go back to the awareness here. So relaxing, softening this part of the body. To allow an easier step here. New smells. Yes. Here. Oh. So going through that process of creating a little bit of a manual release here, allow the muscle to go into tension, then you feel under the fingers the muscle starts to relax. Here also, and this way. And then, good boy, the redirection here. Yes, this step. Same on the other side. So feeling their body, allow them to feel their own body. And then ask them to move the body with that new awareness, with the body being a little bit softer. Yes. Boy, and now the front leg the other side. Yes. Good. So we get more of a rest in the step. Boy, and now I can start to ask for a forward step. Have the hind leg a little bit resting. It's important for me to feel also the rhythm in the body, that I let him have the rest, but only to the point in which he will rest. As soon as he starts to get a little energy build up in the body again. So I keep the contact with the whip in order for him to feel this part of the body. Now taking the energy back towards the whip, so he's not running away, he's not having a contraction in the belly before moving. Yes, good. So again, trying to teach him to find connection in the body with the order of movement, but of course not be too much in a state where he's you're sitting there as a nice
bring into your space.
That the conversation is not about that. And of course that's going to be a little bit the hormones and a little bit other sense in his body that draw him to that space. But what we want him to focus on is when he takes a forward step, to be relaxed in the belly, to keep being able to breathe out, not make too much contraction here. And when he relaxes, that brings him to the stop. And that he can have this relaxation, opening the front, bringing the connection in from behind. And not that he raises the front too much artificially first, and then that breaks this connection here.
But doing it not through the body anymore, but going a little bit against holding the breath and going into the...
Exactly.
I do it because you're asking.
Yeah, and a little bit of a fake it till you make it kind of deal. And then he gets, of course, in a tension movement pattern.
This is when he's hiding, the hypersensitivity between the I am a strong guy, but it's a small guy inside playing the hard one,
Yes. Hey, boy. So the lifting up just tells him to put the focus a little bit more on the back end and not going too much getting on the front. Same again. So again, lifting up a little bit. Yes. I try to be a little bit hands-free. It's not that he really needs a connection in the rein to get the space on the left front, because he has that a lot. It's more not bending too much, compensating in the front, and then getting the back end running. Yes. We get the back end resting in the step in order for him to be able to carry more weight. And then I go away from that and I start him straight away on the tools.
Yeah.
Because
the tools?
Yeah, we can go there. And then maybe if you take the back stick first.
Yes.
We start there. Look, he's already going after mummy again. He much prefers you than me. So the awareness of the space. Good. So this will get better as we go along. I hope Dario looks at me while you're working him and doesn't just go, oh, forget about him. So the contact part is good. He makes contact, and then I go particularly to this area. So first, again, teaching to him before doing to him, because then later I want to be able to ask the question and that he's thinking about the body.
Yeah.
So this is not about getting him quiet to the environment. This is about teaching him about the body.
Yeah.
So like the other ones, we work like the one we did this today, also a bit with the tools and things, but very much about the self-management. What do I have to do with my body? How can I connect?
Feeling what's going up inside.
Yeah.
Physically, but also mentally, because both go together.
And of course, this is interesting, and we, of course, have this discussion easily because we're looking at our horses' bodies all the time. Yeah. That's also what's interesting when we work together is I start to read the biography and then I'm waiting for you to say, yeah, I feel...
Indeed.
Yeah. And even though I have flags and bags and things, and you have whips and your neck ropes and your other tools, we have the same goal. And for me, then it's
not about having them being used to things so they just don't care. It's about having them being able to process everything, to understand what's going on, which emotion is connected, and how to handle what's happening to them.
Yes.
Like we would do also, not being trapped into something.
Yeah.
But being this was quite...
There's a death on the there's a death on the live stream. We can't help that one, unfortunately.
That was not so far.
That was Mummy pushing out the reject bird from the roof.
Okay.
So it's first time people have had a death on the live stream.
So we can say that he was quiet.
He was quiet. Some people things were falling dead from the sky and he stayed relaxed. So we've improved. Yes. So the thing about the tools is, of course, when you introduce the tools, you are giving value to the connection, the self-management of the body. But it's important and necessary to give pressure in a situation, pressure being that we ask a question now, and we want him to find this connection in the body, this control state, so that we don't want him getting up in the energy. And if we give pressure and he loses connection with himself, I can stop with this and I can allow him to find this step.
Maybe what can be interesting to explain is the first time we introduced the tools at home, he was full of spasm everywhere in the body and in the muscles. And it took really a long time for him to be able to understand what was going on in his body and to learn how to relax his muscles every time that his body would react very heavily to it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, because when we see him like this, we can just think that...
They said, oh, Alizée and Tristan, here's one they prepared earlier.
No, it's...
Maybe we take the flag?
Yes. Okay.
The
which one? The big one.
Yeah, the big flag. So you see straight away when you go, but also, I think he's understanding my terrible English, my Australian. Can you grab the flag for me, Dal? That he's thinking then, oh, what are they bringing next? Am I going to be able to...
Yeah, to handle it and process it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really something very deep down inside him.
Oh. So what I notice first when the flag comes out is this.
Yeah.
So losing control here of the breath. So this is the first thing. So we can start to control the feet, but it's actually the breath, the contraction of the breath.
Which is that's always the same pattern, that this first thing he holds the breath, then he goes against, because he tries to protect himself by making himself a little bit bigger, and then he's losing it.
Yeah. And of course, all of these things is going to be a chain reaction to bad events, to compensation patterns. Of course, if they're moving already in a and then moving, of course, we're going to get all kinds of irregularities, poor connections in the body. We have to do more as riders to hold them together instead of them being able to carry themselves. So I just go backwards and forwards. So we thought this was going to be a big, exciting session, but so now he keeps very much the softness also here.
Yeah.
And then I like to be able to see through that this part of the body will start to come up.
Yeah.
And then I can do some also basic mobility. And for me, basic mobility is for them to be able to feel this functionality in the body. Boy. So when he moves, when we start to ask a question, he becomes very aware of this part of the body. Yes. Connected here. Oh, good. Then that we get all the tension released, and then. And what I like to see is that they start to focus not on the flag, but as soon as the pressure comes, they go, okay, how am I feeling? Yeah, what is my body doing? How does it feel now? Maybe we go with the clappers first.
Yes.
We can maybe do two, Alizée, grab the two clappers, and then we see now. Now I'm going to focus here. Yes.
Long. Okay.
So this time when you go away, he was immediately again, he could feel that expectation part, but then instead of going to control him, I go back to this awareness of the breathing part, so that he starts to think about himself in that moment. I go back here again. So first part of the contraction comes here. Belly breathes out. Good. So if he happens to be moving, I look that he finds the connection. I just guide him into the pattern in some way.
But what's funny is here that he has a bit more stress. Then his first reaction is to look outside to see if he has an escape.
Yeah. That's the option. The option.
He's that's always this protection. Okay, I have an escape here.
Yeah. We just try the whirly.
The whirly, the one with.
Yes, this new magic, Alizée.
The long one.
The white one.
Okay.
The big one. The thick one.
And where is it, the big one? I don't see it here. Maybe it's...
Oh, the purple handle there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ooh, you want one or two?
Just one at the moment, yeah.
This is indeed something new.
Yes. You haven't seen all the secrets yet.
No, I was thinking the big whip.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was also white.
Yeah, exactly, the whip. So these are whirlies. It's an Australian invention. Actually, I don't know if it's an Australian invention, but these are made by Sarah Hopkins in Australia. They're actually harmonic whirlies, to be precise. This is a low D, so it's actually tuned to a D. Yes. So we have now the connection from the clappers to the self-management.
Yeah.
So the connection of self in the presence of sound. When you go and you first start to create an awareness of that, then through different sounds, you can allow the horses to connect deeper with themselves. A D is a down note.
Yeah.
If you go to like an E sharp or something of a higher, you can actually allow the horse to feel that he's picking his body up.
Okay.
And in the end, this becomes, through sound, a way of creating more awareness of the body from something in the environment that they're influenced by, in this case the sound, and that they start to be able to get in tune, pardon the pun, with the music and the sound. They get in tune with their own body.
Okay.
So if
That's interesting. Yeah.
yes, so so the first part is him feeling himself. If he loses control of the body, I go back to the shape if he's moving, or I take notice of the part of the body that's going into contraction. Now you see...
Yeah, and the ears are starting to...
Now I can remind him a little bit again about the body. And I start to mimic the activity.
Yeah.
If he's getting busy, and then just through the sound, I try to follow where the attention goes. In the beginning, when he first starts to feel the body, he's almost perplexed by it.
Yeah.
He goes internal and then goes, oh, this is not a place I want to go too deep into.
You can see the questions going.
Yeah.
on.
And then the next phase, he starts to look away, and then small bits of frustration, digging the ground. Becomes like the practicing of meditation. You go into a focus or you don't want to go there. Then we feel a little bit the body again, so that he's feeling the body. What happens? Now we have quite some tension here.
Yeah.
So the sound affects the internal tension in the body, because he thinks my whirlies is a incredibly annoying sound. But of course, the internal feeling of the body is the part he has to become more and more aware of. This mastering. And we have a lot of tension here in the neck again. I just take the little one, we swap this one for the smaller one, then we just give him. And in the beginning, just the introduction of the idea, planting the seed about how the body feels, bring some awareness to the body in the presence of the experience of the sound. This one is also a D, but it is
Hi. You can see that the breath is getting sharper.
yeah. So it's not so much about him learning to control the sound, learning to get used to the sound, to be comfortable in the sound, but tuning into himself. And you see when
Finding the answer inside of him.
Yes. And feeling what happens.
Yeah.
It's a way of having more awareness of self, what's happening in your body when you're experiencing something, and when he can start to follow the sound can teach him the pathway to follow the body.
Yeah.
If we are, of course, able to take up the pressure of the sound in the right moments. Now the breathing changes.
Yeah. the higher note is easier for him to process than the down one. Yeah.
Boy. And then we just change again. I take the whip again, and then I just go through the first patterns. Whoa, good. And it's interesting when you start to the whip.
The whip.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you go and you start to get into them feeling their body in different situations, when we talk about preparation for something, preparation of being aware of the body, when we start to ask them to perform different movements, to be able to offer different movements, or to be able to take them to different places, the simulation of that, knowing what to do in the body, teaching them that they know a little bit what their body is doing. When we go the first time and we're in the competition stable, or we go to the forest the first time and they experience a different energy, different sounds, different elements within the environment, what happens to the body? And here we see he's losing control a little bit.
Yeah. And
he's starting to look a little bit at the body, and then he feels the body, and then he gets worried.
Yeah.
So, my body's not in control. I'm starting to have some moments of tension, starting to lose the control of my breathing. And so being able to let him experience such a question and then go through the process of bringing him back is the simulation. So if we go to the first time and we have the familiarization in the ring, or we go to that first show and there's the big screen or whatever, there's going to be things in the space that affect the physiology. And what is it that he has to learn about his body to be able to be in control of that situation?
Yeah, it's not erasing these emotions, being able to recognize them in order to find the key to get out of them.
Exactly, yes.
Because we cannot control our emotions. So it's not about erasing them.
No.
It's about learning how to live with them,
and also getting rid of uncertainty.
Yeah.
I'm uncertain. I'm unsure what to do with myself in this given situation. Yeah. Oh, good. And then I let him just move a little bit. So also in between the managing the body, keeping the body calm, releasing all the tension, getting into a relaxed state, also being able to feel the body, the physiology of the body within the space. Sometimes I feel that process in myself if I have to go and do a keynote speaking, or then I'm first relaxing myself to be in control of the physiology. And sometimes during that performance or that speech, to be able to get physical and to feel the freedom of being able to move in that space, in that situation. Also experiencing, how does my body move? Still thinking about the the redirection, good. So learning, even when we take the energy up, still thinking about what he's doing with the body. So not doing not doing things in a way that he's going to injure Arnold on the camera or himself.
And that's the frustration just from the
Yes.
before.
Yes.
He's been taking it, and then
Yeah.
now it needs to go somewhere.
Oh. Boy. So I go back to the good order of movement. Keep a connection with him. Thinking still about this part of the body. Going back to what we did in the clock shape, lifting the rein up. Oh, good. Redirection of the front. Keeping contact. Oh, here contact. He's thinking about this part of the body. Yes. Good.
You see straight away when he goes into his emotions, then when he's not grounded anymore, all the body gets disconnected. Then he doesn't know.
Now I press on one of your buttons.
Exactly.
Oh, I just entered Alisée's conversation. Looks more pretty than mine. Yes.
But that's funny how quickly he can disconnect himself.
Yeah. Good. So all of the pieces that we go through in the tension release, of course, the good order of movement, that he's not making a silly step and he can manage himself, he can keep connection with the physiology, with the body, but then going back to the tension release bits, all the points we are bringing awareness to. Yes. Breathing part. Good. Redirection. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh. Yes. Good. And it's important for him, right? I feel for those horses, it's important to be able to go also to this place and learn the contrast of when they lose connection with the body. Of course, you don't want them throwing themselves around too violently that they cause themselves an injury, but that they have a little bit
responsibility.
Yeah. And you can go to that place. And especially this young horse with a lot of vitality and energy in the body. You know, if we're always focusing on that, releasing tension, getting relaxed, deep focus in the management of oneself, sometimes it can tire the brain and they just need this break out a little bit as well, boy. So normally, I would say, when we're working the horses together, we would say, okay, let's go and get another one and let him have a break in the box and then bring him again. And then we start to do the exercises a little bit together. But of course, we are running a live stream. There's other people watching us. So, but it's an interesting process for him to come, new place, new space, and just start to plant some seeds. You know, we've started the work.
And that was interesting because we could still go through some emotions and through some frustration. So he had to work through also his struggles. Yeah. And I'm happy to see that he goes into the struggle, but not with such high emotions as he did. Yeah. So that means that even in new environment with someone he doesn't really know, so he can't trust really at the moment.
You can be proud of him.
He can still try to connect and to find the answers and not losing it entirely. So that means I think that he start to recognize what he's going through, and when they start to acknowledge this, then it means that they are already in the way of finding the keys.
Okay, young man.
To show the world.
Yes.
He's really pretty.
Good boy. Good boy. It's going to be an interesting day for him tomorrow. Yeah. Good boy. Yes. Good. We let him go back to the box. He can have a little rest and then
thank you very much.
Go further. Good boy.
Tristan? Well, it was a very interesting session.
Yeah. And an interesting character. You feel all the time this internal energy and dialogue going on in the body. You could feel from the beginning, he comes into the new space and it's all happening and the mares are there. And of course, you try to bring him through the session in the best way possible for him to feel some successes, to feel like, oh, I've got this understanding of my body. Yeah, I can manage myself in this place. And then you start to ask the questions about, okay, now we've practiced this kind of feeling the body, being connected, knowing where the tension goes out. Okay, if something in the environment now presents itself, are you still aware of that management? Do you allow the external environment to start to change your internal environment? And so that process, of course, is the bit that a lot of them find difficult, but mostly stallions with a lot of talent. You have also that physiology that says, I have all this inside of me and I don't particularly know what to do with myself all the time. And a lot of the times I find the horses that are extremely physically talented have also that trait that you talked about, which is to being the pleaser, really frustrated when they get it wrong. If you have one that's a bit more stiff and lazy.
Yeah, because they have so much talent, even without wanting to put too much expectations, it's also a feeling because everybody is looking at them like they are the heroes, but then they have this also on their shoulders. They have to go on with this, I am the hero, so I need to be in charge. I need to be on top.
Yeah. And then having that physical feeling of already being a champion, but then not having the knowledge all the time of knowing what to do with myself.
Not ready for it.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a few questions about, at some point, he was getting a bit frustrated. And when is for you a moment that you think, okay, now I have to stop, or do you have to work through it a bit, or how do you decide on that?
So depending on the feeling of how long we've worked on something. So sometimes horses can have a frustration with the introduction of something. So of course you don't say then, okay, the duration is too long. And a lot of the time when you start to be able to change a feeling in the horse's body, sometimes that can already be the reason for looking somewhere else. Okay, this feels a bit different and strange. I'm going to go and try to activate my own mind and distract myself with something else. If I starting at like 0 and I go a little bit +1 and then I go to sort of -3, they start to get a little frustrated and it starts to get into a pattern of having less management or getting more tense. If they go to sort of -3 and then they come up to -1 or even back to 0, that for me is then also an improvement.
Yeah.
So it's not always thinking, okay, this is how he is now, and by the end of the session, I want him like 5 steps better than now.
Yeah, so it's not a bad thing when he goes to -3, because there's also learning in that.
Yeah, because it's revealing an insecurity that's not good, and then it's feeling that, being in that situation, and being able to find their way out of it. That is the improvement. It's like, okay, you got into that situation, and now you're in a relaxed state again, and you found connection in your body. In a moment where you lose connection, or you want to escape the situation, the feeling, the sensation, and then they find a little bit of peace in that moment. And that's a skill. That's something they need to be able to then further develop in order to find their way back in more serious situations and real situations that you would put yourself in.
So you basically need to go through it, because the thing is, if you just avoid the frustration, it's like you have it with your children. If you just raise them, avoiding the problems, trying to protect them from everything, you won't be able to protect them in their entire life. So the best tool you can give them is to give them the knowledge to deal with their emotions, with the frustration, with the hard thing they will anyway have to get through at one point. With the horses, that's the same thing. So if you always try to avoid the insecurities, the frustration, the problem, then you don't give them the right tools, because they will have to face this and then they won't be ready for it. And then you put them even in, I think, in a more fragile situation. When you learn to go through it, and when you teach them that they can go through it and this is not going to be a problem because they have the right tool to get out of it, and they will even feel stronger because they know they can make it, whatever is happening, they have the right tools to go through it, then you can, I think that's the best thing, to let them feel that they are safe in life. Yeah.
And you can teach it then in a controlled, step-by-step environment, rather than you get to a situation where they're not able to handle it and they're way over their head and you can't control anything in the environment. You're in a situation where the weather or whatever's putting pressure on it. And it's also for all those hours they're not with us, of course, because they're going to face things in their life, in the stable, in the field, these sorts of things where, there are going to be energies in the environment and pressures from the place in which they are in that is going to challenge their self-management. They're running in the field, all of these sorts of things.
And of course, you let it go from +1 to -3, but you don't let it go to -50. So you sort of
you're not challenge. Yeah, and you have to feel, okay, how much is the horse able to handle and find his way back. It's like asking a question that's worth answering, but something that's obtainable.
Yeah.
If you're like, okay, he's not going to find his way back from here, he's getting too far down the path, I have to find a way to guide him in a better way.
You would create a trauma. That's always the balance that you need to go through the end of the process also, because if you just get out of it before they understood, I think, the situation and the process, then they can't understand what they have been through and why we brought them to this situation. So then they can't get the understanding that goes with it. But if you go too far or too deep, or they are not ready, or they don't understand, or you do it in the wrong way, then you can create a trauma.
And then it's really important then to stay, for me, in my own mind, as the mentor in that position. Because if you're thinking, okay, I just want to succeed in getting them to do that, and that's the most important thing. Then you go away from the fact that you're there to guide them and to mentor them in the best way. And then you think, okay, he's not ready for that step, but I'm going to find another way in order for him to get that skill. And if you're thinking just, I want to get that done, or you think, he's uncomfortable, I say, oh, good boy, I just had him and tell him it's okay. He also doesn't learn that skill. So it's being, clever about learning skills yourself in order to recognize that. Not be afraid to make a mistake and thinking the next day, oh, okay, maybe I went about that a bit wrong. Let's find a better path. Horses are also really forgiving in that if you have good intentions to be able to guide them in the right way.
They are also
this is how it normally goes.
That's the problem. No, it's a very interesting topic. But when you have different reaction to the frustration. So with some horses, you will need to go a little bit further in order to really go through it. And with some other, you will have to stay extremely careful. So it's also about reading really the horses you're working with in order to get the right answer and help them in the right manner.
And is this horse, when he has a bit of frustration, then he's more like outgoing?
He used to be dangerous because he had no self-protection. So he used to be really, really dangerous. And
like really like rearing, and
he had no self-protection. So he was just he just wanted to escape whatever was in front of him. That was he was not considering anything around. The only thing was to escape the fear, the pain, the whatever he felt could happen to him. So his only thing was just escaping the issue, the problem. So I'm very happy to see that now he's just processing the information, understanding the emotion. The frustration is here, but he's learning to go through the frustration, and he's not, when he was a little bit playing, but he was not mad or he was not unhappy, or so this is already
it's much more in a controlled way.
So you see that he's losing his body, he's not grounded anymore, but he's young and he's a stallion. So,
but he's still open for communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he was.
Yeah, he's not losing the communication.
Yeah. Nice. So I have 2 other questions. One is about the tension release point. It's always a question that we get, but it's a very good one. And Jane wants to know, what are you feeling for when you are looking for tension? And then what are you feeling when you know to release?
So for me, it's about what happens in the actual physiology in the body, the physical feeling. So if I have a horse, for instance, like him with the breathing, when I see the skin tightening, the body having an involuntary contraction pattern of protection, and I go to that part of the body, it pulls away from me often. You can feel that the same in the back. You can feel that the same over the rump, the SI area. You feel that in the base of the neck, sometimes in the pole, at the front of the head, in the tail.
It will sort of,
in the flank. The body is having a reflex reaction. And so I try to bring the focus to that. I'm not looking for the horse to be relaxed right away, because this is the end step of a result of them having the awareness, realizing where they are, starting to feel the connection, starting to then feel their body. If you are just feeling, then they are feeling. Not that we have an internal dialogue of, I want him to drop the neck, or I want him to breathe out, I want something from him, good boy. That's not what we want. We don't want an internal dialogue to create expectation, but just the feeling. So that they first have an awareness of how they feel, and that they learn to go to that place instead of being drawn by an external distraction or feeling that the answer is outside of their body, a connection or feeling of soothing from another horse, or you know, these sorts of things of separation anxiety and things like that, but they realize that it's about me. Yeah. And actually the physical action I take, which we can teach them to be able to choose, is going to determine how I feel. So if my body's doing this and I'm like, no, I'm really stressed here standing in this conversation, and not realizing, oh, my body was doing something I was unaware of, and when I was aware of it and I was able to change it.
And the feelings change as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are you then also like looking at like what is the eye doing? What are the ears? Where's the attention
You also
going?
have when they are yarning, or you see it in the eye. Also the eye are changing when they are relaxing, when they enter into the meditation state. The ears also are talking. You have many small signs. The breathing.
Also then waiting for because first the contraction, but then to move a bit back.
So the first step for me is, where is the awareness? Where is their attention? Are they externally outside of their body, looking for a source that is sometimes far, far away from themselves? And when I first make contact with the body, if they're going from external focused vision, looking, some horses like, what's that? Why do I feel like this? Is it that noise? Is it that thing? What is it? And then they start to have a peripheral view in their eye. So this is even before that they start to breathe or yawn or blink or relax the body, or, you know, it's to be able to go from out there, external distraction, from the focal vision into a peripheral. I then already I let them be with themselves for that moment. And then from that process, then I like them to be able to feel. And sometimes they go a little bit more into tension in that peripheral vision, like, oh God, that's what I feel like. And then when I feel they start to really focus on that particular area and they relax a bit, I also go away. I let them be with themselves in that moment. Yeah. And then when the body starts to relax, then you start to feel that they can understand the contrast between this and this. And of course, in the end, they choose this because it's a skill and something they know what to do with themselves that doesn't involve fear. This is not a flight-related solution. This is a self-management. I understand myself, and
it frees themselves from fear.
Yes, and free themselves often from themselves, from that natural instinct, that survival pattern that's been developed through being in situations where they didn't have the answer, and they're the old saying of being left with the only thing they know, and that's the physical action to predict and protect. And so giving them that knowledge to know how to do that, and teaching yourself those steps by just first feeling, and not only looking but seeing. Yeah. Okay, what is happening? What is he? Where is his attention? How is his body? And sometimes the fact that we do that also gives the sense to the horse that they realize we see them. So their attention also comes to the fact that he's seeing me. Okay, he's not going to ask something of me that wants me to go further away from this situation. Yeah. But I become present. He realizes, he feels what I'm doing. They want to make a connection. And then when you have that connection, for me, of course, it's important they want to make a connection with me because the conversation is happening between us. And I have to prove worth and value in order to have a positive conversation. But the most powerful connection for me is the connection with self. Mm-hmm. Because if they can learn that to understand themselves and manage themselves, then they're able to offer things that we didn't expect, that they can bring really from themselves. And of course, you experience that in the most visual way possible. When you see
it's to really empower them so they can, have a real choice in being really part of it, being with you and not working because of you. That's the difference. Exactly. And then because you help them to understand what's going on and then take the lead also on their body, on what they do. And even if you're asking them to do something, that's what we were talking about for the rope earlier today, it's then they are able to do it on their own because they understood everything, and then they are the one in control. They are the one doing. You're just the one helping in the end. But they are here, and not because they have been tricked or taught into a system, but because you let them into such an empowerment and an understanding about how their body, their emotions work, that they can go through the process on their own and take the whole space. That's where they can really take the whole responsibility, and where the personality can completely grow, and where, in my opinion, they can really shine, because they are at the right place where they are meant to be for who they are and not who you think they were meant to be. That's, I think, the biggest difference. Most of the time, we try to bring them to the vision we have of them. But then you work for a long time with them, and you learn to know more and more who they are, and then they show you who they are meant to be. You can't make a plan when they are 3 years old, because then you're wrong.
But you also give them the space to become who they are.
Yeah, otherwise it cannot work.
No, well, a lot of people try in the sport. So with the tension release points, it's a basic step in the communication. Question for you, Alizée. Is this something you've always done, or in a different way?
The
tension release
no,
points?
that's completely new. So I'm not as advanced as Tristan, because we started here like 8 months ago. I don't remember even the last time, but so I'm still discovering, and I don't have the same knowledge and the same understanding. But what I see is, of course, really the reflex, because this, when you're focused on the body, you can see how the muscles are going through the skin. And but sometimes Tristan, he just puts the hands, and then he has the whole process. This, every time we work together, I go through new information, new discoveries, and so I'm really learning.
And you also do it at home with your horse?
Yeah. This is completely part me, but also all my team. We're all doing.
Does her homework immediately she leaves.
Yes, absolutely.
I leave mine till the day before she comes back.
We'll see.
An A student.
You can see, and I also did it on different horses for a student who had horses with a lot of difficulties and a lot of stress, and they all understand this. This is really something. You can have many personalities, different bodies, different traumas, journeys. They all have different reactions at the beginning, so they have longer or shorter process to understand. But in the end, they all really make the connection between their emotions and what's going in their body. And this is a real game changer.
Nice. Well, we're very excited to see Alizée working with your horse, Dario. So let's go to the next part.
Let's go. Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
You know, 10 seconds left.
Do you need water or anything? There's bottles on the ground there.
Maybe one water.
Oh.
Okay. Then no.
He just told me that he's got an incredible amount of energy, and he feels like bucking and running and jumping.
Amazing. Then you will have a lot of fun.
So, but you know him, of course. He's highly sensitive. He's young. He doesn't really know a hell of a lot. He's been under saddle a short time.
Yeah.
So he's doing the basics in the riding. He's a horse that's, for me, more connected with his body than probably any other horse I've ever had. I have to be careful. Actually, he's teaching me a lot about what I wasn't thinking about the day before. So if I start something and I have an idea of what I want, and I'm not following him in that moment. I had a preconceived idea about what I wanted to work on.
Yeah.
And then I didn't follow what he was about to offer or the pathway of how he felt in the body. And then I come the next day and I feel it immediately.
Yeah.
He's like this is what you did with me yesterday, and this is the the plan from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's also a young stallion, so he's got some little stallion tendencies. But you will be on your best behavior because I want you to show how good you are, young man. You've got.
Don't put pressure on him. Hey,
Nice.
we were talking about expectations.
Yes, exactly.
What are you doing here?
I'm just gonna feel the body to make sure it's in the right place.
Okay. Give me the rope, young boy. Okay. I will just take. Do you have the one with the white and?
My magic one?
Yeah.
This
yes,
one?
Here. Yes. Perfect. But that's the short one. You have the long one?
No,
Okay.
I only have that magic one in the short
Okay.
version.
Then I will start with this one, and then I will
Yeah.
switch with my big one. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but I speak a lot with them, way more than you. You remember the first time? That was complicated. But it's because it's really my way. I use the voice a lot to connect and to lead them into the tempo and try to help them in their body.
It's funny, I thought in French in the beginning that voilà, I thought that
Yeah.
that was almost,
Yeah, no.
I thought in the beginning.
Voilà. Voilà. So this is just voilà. Here it's normal, so he doesn't know me, but the first thing I just want is being able to walk close to him without having expectation, but with him trying to feel the space. It's a little bit the same than you do, but in a different way, because for the liberty, then we will need to be shoulder by shoulder. So I just want to be able to walk here. So here he's trying to figure out what I'm expecting, because this is also not something you usually do. You're not at this place. So he's trying the Spanish walk, then he's trying to bite a little bit. So I will just give some few informations. So here is keep your space, his space, my space. Shh. Voilà. 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 And then trying not to put pressure in this arm, because shh. Voilà. Yeah. That's the same. I want him to be not behind me, but also not running away from me. So just being able to be like two friends, you know, in jogging, talking to each other, no pressure, no. I don't want to have too much to do for him, and I don't want him to feel that he has so much to do for me. Voilà. Voilà. Là. Oh. Yeah. So you see already he has one ear here, the other one there. He's a little bit thinking, okay, I don't know what's going on in here. I'm not sure this is gonna be fun, but I'm gonna give it a try.
It's interesting, the whistle again, because of course my whistle is, hey, you've missed the first three, it's time to get going.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how quick they can adapt from feeling your intention,
Exactly.
even though your whistle is stop and mine is go.
But
Of course,
this
there's
is
other connections,
the
body
power
language.
of the intention is more important than actually what you say.
Yeah.
Voilà. Voilà. Yeah. So you see here, he's still putting pressure when I ask him to go. So that's okay. We'll just keep doing this easily till he feels that it's easy. I'm not expecting a lot. I'm not asking. It's just going in and out, easy, each one in his own space. Wow. Yeah.
It becomes effortless. He doesn't have to think. He's just in the
exactly.
place.
That it's just, we are connected, we just go, that's no pressure, that's no. Shh. So you see, he's still thinking that I am expecting a lot from him.
Yeah.
Voilà. Bien. Bien. Voilà.
It's interesting because I have the same pattern in the riding. When I get on, I first walk, long rein, pick up the rein, long rein. I ride a shoulder in, a leg yield, till he gets to the point where he's not thinking 100 steps in front of me.
Yeah.
Was also with the getting on in the beginning. He was already thinking about how he would do the canter when I was putting my foot in the stirrup.
And you see how much it's hard for him not to have anything to do.
Yeah.
So
like
he's
me.
trying to go away to... Là, bien, hop. Voilà. 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 So when he's more relaxed, then I give him more space. Voilà. Because I don't want to be too much into his space. I want him to feel more and more that he has his space and he needs to feel this space on his own and for himself. Because what we want to do is to give them some tools to be able to work with you in the liberty, but to think for themselves, we want to teach them to be smarter and smarter in order to understand what's going on and to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
You don't want to trick them into something they don't understand.
Yeah.
Voilà.
It's interesting you say that in this, that it starts here, because that's something I also like about when I see you working with your horses. When I'm working them on the ground or something, I'm keeping the connection and able to work in this space where they feel comfortable from my connection.
Yeah.
But what I like and now I understand it from just what you've said now, is they are learning that is really their space, that they fill up. This is their working area, and that is from this very beginning part is what I see on your horses in the end.
Yes. Bien. So here, when I have it on the left, here he could stop without putting pressure, without trying the Spanish walk, just... Then we would switch to the other side. Voilà. So there, it's disturbing for him because he thinks I'm asking him the clock. Voilà. Voilà. Same thing, I just give him his space and then I release. His space. Voilà. Yeah. He's looking at you, that's okay. You have the papa feeling. Oh. So here, same. He's used to, I need to be aware of my space. So first thing is, I'm not in the right space.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. No expectation. I'm just asking for hold. So this is his reflex, and I just need to say, hey, relax. We're just walking. That's okay.
It's funny now. It's funny when you see. I'm seeing now the mirror image of myself.
Yeah.
It's like, and even I feel like some of my strengths, I see them now also in how they can be a weakness.
Yeah.
Which is also really.
Honey. Voilà. So here, I keep with my voice and the energy in my body. I keep giving, no, shh. Voilà. I just keep giving him the direction, but I am not, shh. Voilà. I am not giving him the answer. I push him into searching the answer. Voilà. Oui. Voilà. No? Relax.
Yeah, so in my language, in my head now, I would say, in my head, it would say, don't tell him where to be, tell him where not to be, and let him find a place.
Yeah. Voila. And then I just relax. Voila. La. La. Voilà. Bien. Tournez. Bien. Bien. Super. Très, très bien. Voilà. Bien. And there what's really important is really to put no pressure. I'm just guiding, but my body needs to stay really really relaxed.
Yeah.
And there, if he is going behind or there, I will put one energy, like, voila, and then release. Voila. Voilà, bien. Très bien. Oh, hop. Voilà. Bien. Allez. Oui, super. Bien. Très bien. Dario? Oui, oui, oui. Oui, oui, oui. Oui, super. Très, très bien. So here it's the same with my body. I'm connected to his body just to give him the power. It's
to
like
encourage him to find the position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not with the rope. I will pull and push, and he needs to find it. Otherwise, he will just always wait for me to do all the things.
Yeah. So really a feeling you're describing now, not a technique,
Yes.
but a sensation you give to him for him to find the feeling and the space.
Voila. Here I just, yes. Et voila. Dario? So I'm also... Oui, super. Oui, très très bien ça. I'm also used to give the... So left shoulder is a little bit more struggling. Voilà, très très bien. I'm always giving the name first so they know something is coming.
Yep.
So they can prepare themselves, because the idea is...
His name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the idea is to let him find the answer, but if you just give the information without letting them prepare themselves, then you always get the surprise reaction.
Yeah.
So I always call them first so they know something is coming, then they can prepare. So then when I have the feeling that he's relaxing, then I start to work more on voilà. Voilà. On him handling his balance, which comes from, of course, the shoulder and the wizard. So same thing, I just let him find a little bit. He just needs... Here he thinks it's the clock, so that's okay. Yeah, but I want him to take more space with his inner shoulder, so I will... La. Oh. Oh. Voilà. Voilà. Okay. So that's a hypersensitive type 2. So that's the same. He needs to understand that there is no pressure to put, that I'm just here to help him understand how to handle his body. So here I will just with my body, yes, Keep finding ways up till voila. He find his voila. Voila. Oh. He find his space, and as soon as I have 2-3 steps up, break. This is also really important so he can process what's just happened and what's happening in his body. Otherwise, you keep going and then they get lost into the information. It's not clear anymore, and so they don't understand what just happened. Or then you will stop, you will have lost what was good, and then you will get into the struggle and the message is not clear anymore. So always having some breaks and starting again.
And I see in this pattern now a difficulty with he can find the space and position of the shoulder, but then it's not connected through to the front. And then the head and neck is bending, and then he blocks or gets disconnected in the shoulder. So this symmetry between the shoulder, the neck, the head.
So then when it's a little bit too complicated, then no. Voila. La. Yeah, beautiful Spanish walks. Oui. 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 Oh, là. Bien. Oui. Voilà. Bien. It's just trying to help a little bit everywhere. You know, I touch just till up, he finds a little reaction, and then he also understands that everything I'm trying to do around, which is a bit at the moment stressful for him because he wants to give the proper answer and he doesn't really get the answer, so he's a bit in struggle here where normally he knows he has his pattern with you, so he's safe into his usual pattern. So, but he needs to understand that that's okay, I'm just here to help into a different way and he's gonna make it. It's a little bit the same idea in a different way. So I'm just touching, helping also a lot with my body. So he's also not used to have maybe that kind of energy straight into him. But then he starts to have the answer. So we make some breaks. I let him be the baby he is.
He has a snack.
And then we start again. Tu me rends la longe?
He's never done that before.
He's holding himself.
He's never done that before. This is the first time.
Oui. Hop. Hop, hop, hop. Voilà.
Starts to open the skin on that side through the flexion.
Voilà. Voilà. Oui. Oui. Hop. Voilà. Encore. Pousse. Oui. Hop. Voilà. Encore. Oui. Voilà. Oui. Voilà. Oui. 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 So you see here, I go a little bit quicker now. Just in front, behind, everywhere, just to give him. So that's a lot of information. But then because he starts to be less connected into his emotions, but more trying to understand everything, then he goes into his body because he cannot go into his head anymore. He has to, I'm pushing him into having to work through what's going on inside.
Starts to join the dots, and then you get 2-3 steps where he...
So it's just going like you would be riding, doing with the legs and the hands and your back, always trying to handle the balance. That's the same from the ground, just helping everywhere till the moment. Okay, that's the right, there you are in balance.
Yeah.
That's where we are. Then we will go through the right side, and that's the dead bird.
Yes, that's the, the clinic crasher.
No? Oui. 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 Voilà. Oui. 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 Hop. Non. Oui. Encore. Oui. Ooh. Oh. That's where we don't speak yet the same language.
Yeah.
Because I'm used. But that's my fault. I have to teach you this. That's the next step. Every time they would stop like this, but then they will push the weight back on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So what I teach them, and we will go through it as soon as he's more comfortable, is every time they stop and they open, I just go like this, and then they go back towards you, so they can go back into the hind legs and not into the front leg. Yeah. Because we know all the problem is about the balance, and when they are free, of course they always go back into the front leg, and then they always start to work from the head to the hind legs. So you need to always put back the focus into the hind legs.
And do you draw it back then? Or you are pushing him back?
No, what I do is, so I will start like this. First I need,
like this, yeah.
So the first is I softly push his head to, oh, oh, wow. I softly push his head to the outside. So then I will start from under. Wow.
Yeah.
What I want is the hind leg, which is not the case yet, but it will be the outside hind to be. Hey. So here you have the frustration because he doesn't understand and you have some stress. But what I want is the outside hind to cross in front of the inside hind. Mm-hmm. And there he has to make this.
Yeah.
So for this, normally I push the head, but here I don't have, then I will help him with the neck because here he's blocking the outside neck. No, that's because he's used to the other one. So that's complicated because here he's focusing on the front leg. And I need him to put the focus on the outside hind. So here that's also where the frustration comes from because he says, I'm doing it, so what the hell are you asking? Yeah. When I want him to put the focus here and I want him to do this and not this. Yeah. So that's the opposite. The thing is, he's still a bit tense. When I put the whip on top, voilà. Bien.
Yeah.
Non, non. Oui, encore. Non, non, non. No? No? Voilà. Voilà. Oui. Oui. Hop, 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 hop. Voilà. Oui, là. Bien. Non? Hop, 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 hop. Bonhomme. Bah oui. Bah oui. Ah. Bien. Chut. Chut. Non? Chut. Chut. Oui. Oui. Chut, chut, chut. Chut, chut, chut. Chut, 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 chut.
Yeah.
Non?
Careful.
Voilà. Yeah. So here I'm just trying to put his focus on the inner hind leg, just to put his mind into the hind leg, because he's so much into his outside shoulder due to his what he knows, that he just then blocks the connection and he says, no, I'm not going there. I don't want to go where you're asking me because I know you're wrong. But I know a little bit also. So, no, no. Voilà. No. Voilà. Voilà. Oh. Ok. Ok. Bien. Non. Wow. Bien. Bien. Ah, bien. That's where the Spanish walk needs to come a little bit after.
Yeah.
Because otherwise then it's, it becomes the excuse to everything.
Yeah. Let me show you my favorite trick.
Voilà. Voilà.
And of course, from the beginning, I also teach the hind leg to come to me from the draw, from the same side, not from the opposite side.
Yeah, but for these, I would need him. That's okay. Then I will go to something else, but first I don't want him to stay against it. Voilà. Voilà. Bien. Non. Voilà. Bien. Bien. So what I would need is already just that he could go. Wow. No? No? Voilà. No?
Voilà. Bien. Bien. Voilà. Non. Non. Voilà. Là. Hop, hop. Voilà. Non. Non. Voilà.
There's one step.
Voilà. Non. Non. Ah, no. He's trying to show me that he knows better right now, but I just, là, Voilà. Là. I just want him not to put pressure into his neck. Voilà. Là. No. Voilà. Done. Done. Voilà. Done. Done. Voilà. Chut. 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 Mario. Done. Dario. Done. Done. Voilà. Bien. Chut, chut. Voilà. Chut, chut, chut. Voilà. Hep, hep. Oui. Voilà. Chut. Voilà, là. Chut. Voilà. Chut, chut. Voilà, très bien. Oui, hop. Voilà, hop. Là, hop. Oui, chut, chut, chut. Hop. Bien. Allez. Allez. Voilà, super. Hop. Oui. Hop, hop. Voilà. Oui. Bien. Oui, super. Super. Chut. Oui. Super. Chut. Super. Chut. Oui, là. Là. Voilà. Oui, là. Oui. Oui. Super. Voilà. Voilà. Oui, super. Oui.
So what's really interesting to me is when you see how much they're used to their own pattern, their own conversation.
Yeah.
And then there's a little
Oui.
different language, different communication. And then
Oui.
where that goes to, you know?
Oui. Yeah.
The frustration pattern, when I'm not confused, which way are they going to go? Are they going to be shy? Are they going to be
Oui.
showing frustration? Are they going to be angry? Are they going to be naughty? Are they...
Yeah. Voilà.
It's very similar to the point you made before about the children.
Yeah.
When I see my daughters in a new situation and seeing, okay, how are they going to respond in this situation?
Voilà. Oui, là. Là. So according to the information he gives me, I will make some bigger movement or smaller movement. And then that's the same. The movement can be quick or can be slow. It depends on the intention I want to give him and the energy. Voila. Yeah. Oui. 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 Voilà. Allez. Voilà. So here he goes on the left shoulder again. So I just help him here. Oui, super. Oui, ça c'est bien. And here directly you see, there directly his first reflex was, okay, I put then my shoulder in the right place. I'm helping myself here. Oui, super.
And that was in the beginning with the first patterns. The difficulty was that lateral movement in the front leg.
Yeah.
He was very straight in the shoulders, only able to really go on a straight line. And then when I wanted to turn, it was like you were turning with 4 straight legs and there was no bend to make a corner.
Oui, là.
So I see from the beginning this walking in the space and then him finding the space and being comfortable to sort of switch into that. Doesn't cost any energy, doesn't cost any thought. And then this bit being his big weakness, to be able to create a little bit of shape and awareness of the body on that circle.
It's because we know that shoulders, it's always about being able to handle their shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's softly then trying to go then from one shoulder to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because of course the hardest is then to switch.
Yeah. The transition point.
Voilà. Voilà.
So,
oui. And there. Voilà. Voilà.
mm-hmm. Oh, you did a Tristan Tucker move there.
Voilà. But here you see I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
There he is. He got it in his body, so I don't need to do more. Voilà. Voilà.
Can I feel the walking a little bit?
Yeah. Then I will go in the trot.
Yeah. So when you say first in the beginning with the walking, then you are
at the shoulder.
From this position.
Yeah.
And
then now give him more space. Ask him to take the rib inside. Yes. And ask him to take more space. Yes. And you need to release this arm. Yes. Otherwise you already put the pressure.
Yeah.
And now ask him for the inner shoulder. Just yes. And your back a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Your back, you have to go a little bit backward then.
Me.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah, but this is too small. It's you walk backward.
Yeah.
You need to call the shoulder.
Towards me.
Yeah, but you need, I will come with you. I will just, yes, go with me. You need to open here. And then you need to be more behind.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, here.
Okay.
And now you see you go a little bit from the hip.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so now not walking now on the circle.
And release this arm. You don't, yes. Yes. Here, ask him here. Yes. Just little half hold and you release on the rope.
Yep.
Yes, here. Yes. Here. And release on the rope. Little bit lower on the rope. Vibration and release. Here. Little bit more. And in the same time, the vibration on the rope. Yes, this one. This one. Hold and you release. You feel this moment where, okay.
At your sound
just
then.
Goes, yeah. Yeah, this where you don't feel that you help everywhere. So you really need to be extremely quick everywhere till the moment where you feel, okay, now I get silent. Wait.
Yep.
Now I get silent. I can make it.
And then the shape when you change?
Yes. So when you change, you make a triangle, you go backward, you make a triangle with the whip. Yeah, you need to go a little bit more away from it. You go backward in the direction of the hips. Backwards, and there, yes, here turn, you have to turn yourself exactly. Where the moment you see the outside eye turning to you, then you just switch your shoulders. Up, sorry, it's just, it's connected here. Release, yes, and you release. Yes, vibration on the rope, yes. Just vibration small, yes, and you release. Yes, here, then you have nothing to do, you stop. You feel this moment where he just goes easy, that's the moment you stop.
Yeah. The hardest thing is not to get into your feeling, it's to get out of mine.
Yeah, I know. I've been through this with you, but then you're in my shoes.
Now we get to swap that feeling.
But it's this moment where you feel that it becomes easy for him, so you don't need to do.
Get to the hands
then
free.
You need to say, and as soon as you feel that he needs your help again, okay, you step in and you go away. Till the moment you really have not much to do.
Okay.
Yeah, super. Voilà. Voilà. So here, that kind of things, you know, where he goes a little bit on me, it's because he's struggling to handle his left shoulder.
Yeah.
So what he goes is, it's uncomfortable, so then he goes at you, he starts to be a little bit with the grumpy face. Yeah. It's just because this shoulder, he's not yet able to handle it. So you just need to say, hey, this one. Yeah. And there he takes his space, and there it's, okay, indeed, that's not so complicated. Voilà. Voilà. Allez.
And it's interesting that my focus in the beginning a lot of the time on the horses is more at the ground and letting that come up through the body.
Yeah.
And yours is more on the body and letting that come through into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Voilà. Oui. So same thing here. Voilà. Voilà. Là. Oui. Oui. He's also doing the tricks.
Yeah.
Voilà.
Voilà.
So here I need to just wait that he releases because he's putting the tension in his neck.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to help him here. But the thing is, when I help, then he thinks that it's a stop. Yes. Voilà. So I just keep going till the moment. Oui. Hop, 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 pousse. Voilà. Bien. Bien.
Oui.
Voilà. Bien. That's the same. It's the same than in the walk. He wants to do too much, so he's trying everything everywhere. He's just, and it's difficult, and he says, okay, I don't know. No, just easy. We're just trotting. Just follow the whip and do all the tension, and it's gonna be okay. You don't need to do too much. We just ask for a little bit, but through the body. Yeah. Easy, soft, because when he will be free, otherwise he won't be able to handle it. When you can't help him in his shoulders, then he's not gonna be able to make it. Yeah. So you need to help him already here to understand how his body works in order to be able to find it on his own, when he will have nothing else than your voice and your whip to try to give him the direction.
Yeah, when you have no halter,
no rope, nothing. Whee!
What I noticed just through that last bit, when you give the release is, I see on his face for the first time,
Whee! Whee! Up, no.
kind of real,
Whee!
how do I put it, like sweet satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because you're more, I've noticed just in that last moment, you're more like this. You're more sweet to him. I don't get that. This I've not seen before. And Katja's probably the first one to tell me that I'm not sweet to my horses. That's why they don't look at me like this.
But you see here that was interesting because he went doing this, but not through pressure, because he went through his body, so his body went to swing. But it's not because I asked him to swing or to make a tricks. It's because it came naturally through the process to do it. That's what I want them to understand. It needs to come because the body is loose, because the body is in the right place, because they follow the rhythm. Okay, then it comes, but it comes not out of force. It comes out of natural. It has to be because it just comes on its own. That's what I'm looking for.
Finding the pure way of him expressing oneself because he finds the connection in the body and the ability to move in symmetry.
Oui, super.
That's when it is now you see the art form in it.
Yeah. Voilà.
I'm looking at
so
his
on the
sweet
right
face
side, he's always a little bit more behind me. I don't know Reedon, but on the right side, it's like you would say while riding, he's a bit behind the inside leg.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see it here.
Especially in canter.
Yeah. But also in the walk and in the trot in hand.
Yeah.
Voila. Voila. So I put the pressure, not the pressure, but the focus more here.
Yeah.
Like I would do to say, hey, stay in front here, in the middle of the body.
Yeah.
Voila. Oui. 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 Bien. Dario, trottez. Allez. Allez. Oui. Chut. Oui. Encore. Chut. Chut. Oui. Chut. 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 Oui. Pousse, pousse, pousse. Pousse, pousse, pousse. Allez. Chut. Oui. Chut.
What is that word?
I don't know what I said, sorry.
The push, push, push?
Ah, push is push.
Oh, okay.
Oui. Oui. And you see here, he just plays, but not because I ask him to.
No.
It's just because it comes.
Yeah.
And then step by step, c'est bien.
Good boy.
Then he just, he says, that's easy, I'm loose.
Yeah. And it's
and we
interesting
don't ask him to be spectacular, he just swings because it comes like this.
Yeah. And you see when you change the focus on the middle, then the pelvis starts to, and then it's coming through the whole body from the, and not a cue of do this leg or here, but.
And most of the time you need to be placed in a different way on the right and on the left side. Sometimes I even go only backward on one side and forward on the other side. Backward you will call them towards you. So, which is most of the time when they are stuck in the inner hip.
Yeah.
You're also the papa type. You always say I'm a mommy, but you're a papa. And when they fall on the inner shoulder, then you go in their direction just to say, no, keep this shoulder up. Yeah. Go up with your shoulder. One more
time. And then how, this is something you work on then, little bits every day?
This? Yes, because this is really just, it's mentally difficult because they
Yeah.
need to stay really connected to what's happening. So it
You can
doesn't
see
look
it
difficult.
reveals his weakness also really
Yeah.
quickly. Or the bit that he finds most difficult.
Voilà. Voilà. Oui. Oui. Allez. Dario. Trotter. Oui. Oui. No, no, no. So this, I don't take it because this started from the shoulder. Go, go. Allez, Dario. Voilà, super. Oui. 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 Hop, hop. Bien. Ici. Oui. Oui. Ici. Oui. 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 Hop, hop, hop. Non. Oui. Voilà. Oui. Voilà. Hop, hop, hop. Là. Là. Celui. Oui. Oui. Non, non. Oui. Oui. Là. En bas. Oui. Oui. Là. Hop, hop, hop. Oui, ça. Hop, hop, hop. Bien. That's a lot of reflection. C'est bien.
Lightening the backhand.
C'est bien. C'est bien. Bien. Très bien. Mario? Oui, c'est bien ça. Bien. Super. You see, here already, he comes and up.
Yeah.
He just puts the focus here and directly he goes. Voilà. Oui. Oui. Dario? Oui, oui, c'est ton crottin. Yeah, I understand this one. Allez. Oui. Oui, baissez. Hop, plus d'espace. Voilà. Hop, viens là. Oui. Voilà. Oui. Baissez. Oui. Pousse, pousse, voilà. Oui. Hop, hop, hop. Voilà. Bien. Oui, et allez. Oui. Pousse. Oui. Hop. Bien. Oui. Oui, super.
You see there it gets also really light on the rein.
Yeah. Trotter. Oui. Trotter. Dario. Oui. Pousse, pousse, pousse. So here I'm really not, I have nothing to do, just the voice gives the tempo. I just have a little help in front sometimes when I feel that the shoulder gets stuck.
Yeah.
But then I straight away give him back the responsibility. I let him find it in his body. I'm not helping him. At the beginning I had to do way more in order for him to find the way.
And you can be more subtle.
Now that he's there, I just let him find it slowly, softly, and I'm just here to give him the small informations, not asking him too much, and going into this micro transition, because in these ones, he starts to play also with the balance and to try to find it in his body.
Yeah.
Bien.
Boy.
C'est bien.
He will sleep well.
Yeah,
His brain
I think
has
so
been...
too. I will do the micro transition on the right side, and then I think it will be dodo time. Voilà. Super. Allez, Dario. So on the right side, I go a little bit with him in the beginning of the transition, because he has this going a little bit behind the inside leg feeling.
Yeah.
So I go with him to help him in the movement.
So you, rather than drive him forward, but lead him.
No, no, no. Voilà. Ici. Oui. Oui, super. Oui. Dario, oui. Oui. And here you see I just do this, and there he makes himself bigger, just because he follows. Oui. Oui.
Ah, good boy.
Yeah. So I have nothing to do anymore, because he understood that what I am trying to do here is just to help him some indication. I'm not here to be annoying. I'm not here to be stressful anymore. I'm just here to say, hey, just look, if you put the focus on this shoulder, on this one, the hind leg, the belly, don't forget your ribs, don't forget this. But it's not to block him into something. It's just to say, hey, this one,
Feel
this
this
one,
part,
don't
feel
forget
this
this
part.
part, this. And then when they understand that you're here just to help them handle their body, then they are not against anymore. They're just trying to follow, and then
We see he starts to really search in his body for the feeling and the movement.
And then your job is to always say, be careful, yes, this is good. You put the focus here, but then look, the shoulder then it got stuck, and now the hind leg, you have the shoulder, but now the hind leg stopped working. So you're going a little bit everywhere, so he can discover all the part of the body and be in charge of everything and make the connection of everything together. Then he understands what is happening. It's a little bit with you with the release point. I do it in the movement while saying, hey, this one, no, this one, but be careful, here you're losing this one. Just
bringing the awareness to the parts.
Maybe
to
you
make
can
connection.
feel him
I think
in the trot on the left side, because it's the easy one. It's the easy one. Just for you to...
On the left, eh?
Yeah. Tell him, Dario. Dario, trotte.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Release your left arm. Yeah, that's where you don't need to put pressure. You really need to, And now also feel it in your body. If you want him to slow down a little bit, you need in your body. And now put the focus on the inside hip. Yes, and you release. Yes, and ask for a micro transition.
To walk?
Yes, and now.
Oh, so a transition.
Yes. And then release. Yes. And relax yourself. Keep the inside hip. Yes, because he needs to keep pushing into the transition. Yes. And now half hold, so he's not he's not running too much. He needs to put, half hold and release, half hold and release. Half hold, hip. Yes, help him on the left hip. Yes, and release. Yes. Help. Yes, and hold. Vibration. then you need to be a little bit quicker on the rope.
Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes you don't really realize that you stay here, and even if you don't have a real contact, you're still putting pressure, and then he holds here, and so instead of being able to go, then he goes a little bit like this, and then he's not able to really find it. So that's where you need to be.
It feels really the balance between freedom and, like you say, the awareness here, but the freedom here, in order to make the connection and let it come out.
Bien. But to give him this freedom, you need yourself to sometimes help him truly, you know, for 1-2 steps, in order then to say, hey, now you can go free, feel this. Because when you're always in a sort of compromise, just trying not to help but still helping a little bit, then you're cannot...
never giving full responsibility.
Yes. So you really need to go, and there, the other thing is for the tempo, you need to find it in your body, because you're used to go really, you know, like this for the release. But in the liberty, you need, I use this one only if I really need to. But if you're on a horse and you want to play with tempo, connect and go out, you need to keep them from behind, so you need to keep them with power. So even if I go like this, I still go with this one, because this one is still with the energy in. If you go like this, then you cut the energy off. So that's why in the transition there, he started to go like this instead of being here, ready to go in the next one. It's always the feeling that he goes into the transition, but the next step he's already ready to jump again
really
into the next one. Yes. Yeah, in fact, you're riding your horse, but from the ground. So you're just helping him everywhere, so he can make it on his own, as if you would be, I feel it in my body exactly the same way than if I would be riding him. It's okay, here he needs my outside rein, here my inside leg, here my back, here my... That's why I'm sometimes doing some weird stuff. But because they feel what you push through, they learn to receive it in their body.
And it's also what I see in you sometimes. When you're riding and you're warming up your own horses, I see your groundwork in your riding.
Or you see my riding in the groundwork. It's both connected.
Yes. Really nice. Good boy.
You see, he doesn't want to go away, so he's not that sleepy. At least he's not so much annoyed or frustrated or
where do you want to go?
With me.
He's staying. Come on.
Allez, go. Allez. He's not running after you, I'm afraid.
You can take him.
Alizée. Yeah, we're running.
Wow, just in time. That was a very interesting session.
Yeah.
And it was maybe sometimes for people difficult to see, because you're so refined with what you're looking for that you have to pay a lot of attention, look really closely, see what you're going for. So that was also a question, like you're also like both focusing on balance, but what exactly is like the shape you're going for? Because you were like focusing on the shoulder and you were like giving signals.
It's the moment, you know, all horses have different angles, and from the right and from the left, they have different angles. And through the journey, I don't know if you're doing some stretching in your days, but then you know that some days you have easy stretching, you feel like you're a champion, and the day after you feel like a 100-year-old grandma when you're doing it. They are the same. So the only answer for me, I don't know if you have the same opinion, but it's the moment where the whole image, the whole body looks, everything is in the right place. Like you would have this Da Vinci Codex where you turn everything and then suddenly everything makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the same for me in the horses. I don't know him, so I don't know what would be his ideal shape. So I'm just helping him through till the moment his body tells me, okay, that's where I can take my whole space. Yes, and I'm sorry, that's true. I cannot explain the same way than Tristan, because when I work, I'm so much focusing into the energy I put and everything I do that I cannot explain in the same time, because I also put my voice into the work. So it's more complicated, I know.
Yeah. So you're basically, when you're looking at the horse, you're looking at all the angles and think, okay, this is where I have to turn with this. And so then it connects, and then the horse will feel from that the movement.
In fact, I'm helping ever, because you can see, what you can see is where it's not right, where it's blocking. So I'm just helping all the small blockage till the moment I feel and see that the whole body is just working together and everything makes sense. Suddenly,
and those moments were coming because you were seeing a change.
Yes.
And just a few steps, and then it was coming again.
And it's not only an effortlessness, but it's also you feel in them that they are empowered by it. They grow in their energy and in their self-expression, as well as this smoothness of this effortlessness. So it's like a combination of all the...
The thing is, of course, first he's young and then he's discovering, so that's why you cannot go on long time, because of course this is a lot of information. They need to put everything together, and sometimes you don't see it a lot from the outside, but for them it's so many that they need to process that they can handle it for a few steps, and then it's, then once again, I have to put everything together. What was it again? And so you need to accept this. If you just see some few steps and you say, hey, why are you stopping? No, that's not how it works. They need the time, and then they will give few steps, and then you go into all these transitions, and then it will come more and more easy till the moment it will just be their normal thing. But this takes a long time, and that's why I'm so annoying into the basic, and that's why I hate you a little bit for the Spanish book, because it's too early. It's because you need to have all these basics so much in that when they have all this knowledge, when they have all this self management, then you can put all the tricks, because all the body is, and this goes, then it's very easy. But the problem with putting the tricks before is that then they get a bit lost and they know some tricks, so they put everything all, so they say, yes, I know, they try everything, but they don't know that what we are looking for is just for them to be able to handle themselves. The rest we don't really care, because what we want is them to be able to understand how they can be in balance, and in balance it's also being grounded. So whatever I'm doing, walk, trot, canter, I am grounded, and so my body works and like a, like a wave, because I don't have to put pressure. I'm here, and it's so easy because I'm relaxed, but in the same time that I'm relaxed, I have all this energy because it comes from behind. So it goes naturally into this, and not into only the front leg, or not into running into, it's just because it goes with the flow.
Very nice. And you use different voice cues. A lot of people want to know what the cues mean. Okay, so how long do we have?
So when I say push, this is push. So it's really, when I say push is, I want the energy, I want to remind him the energy must come from behind. The can be giving the tempo, because I use it to say, hey, go quicker, slower, so this is not only about putting energy in, it can be also to slow down the tempo, because I will give a certain tempo that the horse, and he reacts really well to it, because he's used to your training I sync with the music.
And also
So-
the clock, because my clock is also for like,
Giving, So
And they
he's,
follow that.
this is something he, so it can mean more energy or go to the next gate, but it can also be tempo. That's where the intention, in fact, is more important than the words. That's why I said my voice cue, I have so many, but I can switch from one to another because it's not about the words, it's about the intention I'm going to put inside. So I can switch sometimes from the to the tst, because this tst will ask the hind legs in the same time. So it's just...
Oh, I thought it was the shoulder. When you did the I thought it was the shoulder.
Yeah, no, it's to say, okay, you have the focus on the shoulder, but now the tst is a little bit giving power.
Right.
So then that's where most of the time then they put the hind leg to say, yes, sht, okay, and just...
mine is.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the...
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
right.
the...
Yeah.
This is another... tst.
Oh, I thought not.
And also,
Yeah,
and
yes, exactly. You have to...
we both have whistles. They
Yeah,
both go in different directions.
But he learned that very quickly.
Yeah, or the intention.
Yeah,
is-
that's the thing. It's just the intention you put in with your body language, because it's connected to your... Because when you do your whistle, your body language also goes with it. So
Yeah.
he knows. And mine gives him the stop. So even if at the beginning he was a little bit unsure about what that meant, he was still already in the break.
Yeah. And you also saw the frustration coming a bit.
Yeah.
And then I think you were searching for different ways to go.
Yeah, and then then it doesn't make sense, because he's so much into one pattern which he's used to that then he puts all the pressure in the body, and then he doesn't want to get to it. So then you say, okay, then we will switch to something else. And most of the time when you have something like this, the day after you take him back, and then he processed into the night, and then you don't have the frustration because he's fresh and everything. And there he says, yeah, I know, that's the one. So it's always a choice that you make, and you can always be wrong, and maybe I should have push him more forward, but I don't think so, because he's so much into this work with Tristan that you also have to be careful. It's not like a blank page horse that you would just take from the scratch and doesn't know a thing. This one already knows something, and then he got angry because he said, I know better than you, and you don't, so stop with your silly things, because what I do is back and across, and I know it very well, so just leave me alone.
I don't know what you want.
Yes.
So this is what we're gonna do.
Let me do my back and across.
Yeah.
So yeah, this but then you feel also that you go to something else, and there he starts to say, okay, maybe she's not that silly, because this quite makes sense. In the end, my body feels comfort. Oh yes, and there you see that his behavior is entirely changing, and then he say, yeah, okay, she's worth following, because this is not so stupid. My body feels quite well here, and I'm in charge, and I can feel myself, and I always like this moment, where you have you see them change in the mind, and thinking, okay, this is worth following, because indeed I feel that this might bring me to something interesting, where I feel comfortable.
Yeah. And when you work on the ground and you see that everything is starting to connect, and the body changes, and they get different posture, different balance, what happens when you then get on? Do you feel like they have to...
I use the same. In fact, I use what I do when I write them to connect it in the groundwork, and I use what I do in the groundwork to connect it to the writing work. So they are really well connected, because my body language from the ground is actually quite the same than the one I use when I write them with the voice, but also the energy I would put in my shoulders, in my back, in my seat. So they always understand it's most of the time it's instinctive. I don't have to think about it, or they don't have to think about it. It's we work together, and then we are in the same process together, and it goes like quite without processing it. That's a bit, I think, where we are different. You're a lot into you intellectualized. I don't know if that's really English. the process.
Very, very unintellectual Australian.
Yeah, but you thought a lot about everything's happening, and me, I'm feeling it in the body, and then the bodies are talking to each other. I'm less into thinking about the information he gives me. I'm just receiving it directly in the body, and the body is answering. But I'm thinking afterwards.
But what I feel is very similar is that you're both sort of teaching or showing the horse to find a very posture that's very comfortable and gives them a good feeling, empowering feeling, that the horse then wants to look for that posture. I see that very clearly with the both of you. I also think that's why it.
We understand and connect.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And now we have this session, and like it's the perfect thing to say forming partnerships. I mean, between the horse and between us. But this sort of workshopping is, now I hear you say so many similar things that are the same, but in a different language or a different way, with the same vision, the same goal, the same sensation. When I think also about working on the ground and transferring to the saddle, I'm having the same conversation, the same as if I start a young horse and I ride him the very first time. It's like, well, how do you go to getting on? Well, I just do this, and then I do the same thing, but I'm doing it from here instead of from here. So
and it's also because they already have, I think, their landmarks with the voice cues and with the help you already gave.
And
that
with themselves.
Then it's
in tune with themselves.
then the stress doesn't go into them the same way, because they can rely on themselves already. They already have the tool to rely on themselves. It's about helping them once again for themselves, and not so much for ourselves.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting to see you both, and also that you're both doing also a bit stepping out of the comfort zone. And going into that process, and also showing it to everybody. It would be great if more trainers would be willing to do that. So thank you so much. Thanks to everybody at home, and until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Goodbye.